Hello everyone, and welcome back to Rusty RP-1, where it looks like I'm going to try to shoot the moon and not do as horribly as all the other times. 65 days? Is that really right? Did something happen to my rates? No. I thought it was faster than that. $50 days. Alright, so we'll do an EVA on Dolphin 2. Oh, that was the Dolphin 2 backup, so we'll rename it Dolphin 3. See if there's anything more interesting to pick. Oh, that's cool. Could just do that. Why not? We'll launch Dolphin 2 and Dolphin 3. Can use the money. And we'll take this because we'll be doing it soon. Do I want to take this as well? I'd like to do this, except we don't have 2 crew. Could take this on. It gives us 2 years, but I remember talking last time. I'm not sure we'll get there in 2 years. Haha, not yet. All right. All right, I think what I actually want to do is launch a cheap rendezvous target. Well, no, we'll get some extra experience for our brave Kerponauts. And it's not that much. It's not that much more expensive than a cheap rendezvous target. No, we'll do a cheap rendezvous target because we can launch it from the 60-ton pad. All right, let's find a nice cheap launch vehicle. Which is probably this. What do we have here? AJ-10 early. AJ-10 mid versus AJ-10 early. All right, extra 100 funds, whatever. Why not? And we're going to make we're going to have to retool it, aren't we? Oops, wrong way. 2.438. All right. Yeah, we're going to have to retool it. Not very expensive. All right. So this is going to get Delta Avionics. Oh, that has the little itty bitty. We need to replace that. $350. Yeah, for another $50 we can have legit good stuff. Where should we put it? All right, I guess we'll just put it here. All right, so that will have vaguely worse performance. 0.23 versus 0.4. 170 kilograms, 50 more, but it's good for the avionics. Now for the much more extensive changes. Okay. And pretty sure this is a 4-minute burn time, but let's just confirm. Ah, 5 minutes. All right. Let's put some significant payload in this just so we can get some reasonable numbers. You are 1 ton. All right. think 1 ton will be a bit ambitious, but we'll see. All right, so that's about right. Oh, actually, no, that's, I don't want to do it the other way around. Yes. There. That looks better. And now we can do better utilization. I said 5 minutes, I think. All right. Now, attitude jets. Hydrazine. Okay. Check staging. Staging will, I assume, be messed up now. Okay, and the RCS is, of course, screwed up because that is now too wide. There. Hopefully that will work okay. Whoa, that's screwy. You're right. Well, how did they? Because apparently the texture they had was not found. So I must have been using some other texture for them. That's freaky. And this thing got screwed up again. All right, now that the tanks are resized right, we're going to do this the other way. Okay. I have a feeling this is going to be better at... Nope, I'm wrong. All right. Let's decrease the payload because I think that'll give us more reasonable numbers. $369. Let's try that. All right, and let's... Nope, we are actually getting more delta V from doing this longer. Interesting. I didn't think that we would, but we are. Oh, right, because this is tank 3 HP. All right, so now that's a sphere about like that. That's a sphere about like that. And that implies that that utilization figure's about right, so that's fine. So, Piano Josh, funny you should say that. That's just what I was imagining. So you see the top dome of this tank? It's a sphere like this. Oh, right, but these stages were common bulkhead, weren't they? So we don't have to worry about that. So that'll give us a little more performance. We need to implement a system where common bulkhead is more expensive and more prone to failure, but allows a higher utilization, because I'm tired of role-playing it. What the heck is that about? That's a thing I'm not familiar with. I don't know what mod does that. Let's find out what modules are on the thing. Antenna, command, decoupler, curbnet, MechJeb, science, science experiment, more science experiment, show info, signal processor, tag. Huh. I wonder what mod does that then. Blowfish, sorry, I missed your message. Yes, this is the same career. Oh, I missed everybody's message. RF does do its own costing. And yes, we should be able to cost based on utilization. You're right. That'll make some difference. And Blowfish, this is the same career. I mean, this is my Thor. This is my Thor Delta, and you know how much Thor Delta gets used. So I'm just launching I'm making a rendezvous target for my Dolphin. Pap, I'm trying to figure out what the heck these lines are for. Never seen them before in my life. Oh, there's a crack there. Is there? Yes, there is a very subtle crack. All right. Blowfish, exactly. Yeah, Able and Able Star and Delta. I mean, this is really more Able Star, but Pap, I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I'm running 1.3, so I don't think that would be something in stock. All right, so we'll go with 5 minutes on that thing, even though I think it's weird because I could have sworn that Able Star was 4 minutes. Badger, that's probably safer. Blowfish, my guess is because Aerojet would be the contractor for it, that it would be the same design as Able, just fat. So let's see what's untooled. Yeah, those changed as expected, and then two. All right, so it's just, oh, I don't want to tool all. No. I just want to tool this. And I want to tool these puppies because they're cheap. And then the last thing is this, which is untooled, but I don't care. Ah, nice find. Nice fine blowfish. Alright, so this thing just needs to launch a rendezvous target. What sort of rendezvous target shall we make? Whatever's the cheapest, I think. So the cheapest is probably a telemetry unit. Actually, Sputnik. Because telemetry unit would require either batteries or solar panels to stay alive, whereas this can just be a rendezvous target. And we'll go truly nostalgic on this thing. And actually, we'll do it like that so it fits the fairings. And really, we don't need anything beyond that. I see no particular reason to put anything else on it. Like, I guess we could put a tank 1 with some lead ballast in it, just to make it a little heavier. But that's really it. And even then, it's fairly expensive, because it's untooled. Yeah, so we'll just do this. Can I get away with... not quite. I kind of want them to be the traditional layout. Alright, here's what we'll do. Where's the other strut? Octagonal strut. Ah, there's the modular girder adapter. There we are. Much more traditional. All right. Ah, PAP, thank you. I will have to look and see what the heck that does then. Piano Josh, yeah, I thought there was a fix for that, but maybe it didn't actually fix it. Alright, so we definitely have more than enough delta V to get to orbit. So, this is fairly cheap, as you can see. It's cheaper than the real delta. Not super sure why. Probably because our... I don't know. I think broadly just because we don't make things cost as much as they should for having multiple stages, but that's hard to... We've talked about this. Alright, anyway. We're just going to call this plankton, I guess. Or krill. I forget what exactly dolphins eat. Alright. 11 days to build. So you know what, we're gonna I wonder. You know what, I'm gonna edit this because I think the build points might be messed up. Why is the cost different? That's weird. Why is it going to edit at 0%? Anyway. Who knows? We're going to leave it alone. Alright, well, let's do our lunar thing. Don't think I'm forgetting anything. So the other advantage of doing it this way instead of the two crude things is that we can use the light pad and the medium pad instead of the medium pad twice, or worse yet, the medium and the heavy pad. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. What just completed? Something must have just completed because the warp stopped. Some tech must have just completed. I don't know what. It's been a while. But we have a lot of money. So we don't have enough money for that. We are already upgrading that. We sure as heck don't have enough money for that. We don't have enough money for that. Maybe we should build a pad. I think we're probably going to want a heavier launch vehicle at some point. So let's call it Charlie. Oh no, we already have Charlie. Delta. And we want it to be a level 5 pad. And that's pretty expensive. But happily we have lots of money. So yes, we want to build that pad. How expensive is level 6? Not that much more expensive. Well, I mean double, but you know. Yeah, that looks right. Alright, so we're going to build a level 5 pad. That took us right down. Yes, that feature is great. Thank you, CMAP. And let's buy some upgrades. Alright, and we're going to leave more of a cushion than before. Right, now let's warp. Yeah, ideally we'd have one pad per launch vehicle, but that would require detecting what launch vehicles are. And yeah. That's a lot of Delta V. Okay. Parking orbit. expected. That's fine, that's fine. All these things are fine. Here we go. So this is our first test of Hydrolox. Let's hope that it ends well. Man, it's interesting. If I strapped a couple boosters to this, it'd be very like Titan 3E. Flowfish, by which you mean anemic as heck? This is also a very proper stage ignition thrust weight ratio for Merca. Now let's look at that value climb. That should climb before too long, because I did over provision this quite a bit. We've already lost 2 liters to boil off. Badger, it should be, with the changes we're currently making, it should end up being fairly competitive. But I wouldn't swear to it. Remember, don't look at the regular cost, look at the regular cost plus the launch cost. Merca. Yes, NorCal Planner, this is indeed. Man, that separation velocity is low. This is a proper American launch vehicle. Interestingly, its performance is, its profile is not that different from Saturn V. The main difference being that this stage has a lower burn time than S2. But it's broadly like a Saturn V profile. Oh, that's interesting. This thing is going to take a god-awful ton of delta V to get to space. Let's go a little lower. Oh, that scared me. Why is it? Why did it freak out? There we go. So apparently I did not pack enough delta V for this. I guess we just have to hope that the boil off will save us. That said, there's enough delta V up here that we're okay. We can finish the transfer on the AJ-10. Yes, I pressed the do not press button. And it seems to have solved my problem. But yeah, this launch vehicle is quite anemic. Man, we have not gotten a lot of boil off, even though I didn't put any insulation on this tank. Which I forgot that I can now do. I'm actually vaguely tempted to put a second LR105 on this, because that would cut the burn time down to 2.5 minutes. This is 2.5 stages to orbit. Piano Josh, are you on the Real Fuels backport to 1.3? Because there was a backport that fixed a bug there. What about, wouldn't that be 8 RL10s though? I mean, Saturn 1 with its S4 would be 6, and then another 2 in Centaur. Which was notionally called the S5 stage, actually. Centaur was. Yeah, I mean, it actually... The numbers don't work so well sticking it above an S4, but they work fine sticking it above an S4B for a ridiculously high energy thing. Sustainer? What do you mean by the sustainer? I'm confused. I don't think it had a sustainer. I mean, it has the S1 stage, and then it has the S4. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this stage just did not have the oomph. Alright, let's go. 5 seconds. We have good solid RL10 ignition. Pretty good reliability at 2500 DU. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't, I mean, it's only a 50-ton stage. You wouldn't want to put a 15-ton Centaur on top. We did consider it. That's why Centaur was designated the S5. The only S stage that was never built was the S3. I mean, Centaur never flew on a Saturn, but it was the S5. The S3 was designation given to a variety of stages for use on either the mostly Saturn C3, I think. But I think there was also one version of the Saturn C2 that had, it was weird. It had the S1 first stage, so 8 H1s, and then it had this weird, like, 2 or 3 minute burning stage with 4 J2s, and then it had the S4, I think. It was weird. The Saturn C2 is just super weird. But it was mostly used as the second stage on the C3. C3 was variously 2 F1s at the start, and then later they uprated it and had 3 F1s. And it had... Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that they were going to put on the C2, I think. 100 seconds with 4 J2s. Talk about waste. I mean, that's the same propellant loading as an S4B. It's actually less propellant loading than an S4B. We're actually not doing that too badly there. Interesting. 1,800 meters per second total for losses. Yeah, they didn't realize how expensive anything would be when they proposed it. They were just looking at maximal performance. All right, up to 1900 meters per second losses. Yeah, that seems wrong. Well, if it is, if they calculated the burn time off that specific impulse, yeah, that just sounds like a load of incorrect facts. So I wouldn't trust those numbers at all. Man, it'd be nice if I wonder if any of the NASA spaceflight guys did a disquisition on the Saturn C series. Because Ed Kyle's booster variants for Thor and Titan are really nice. Thor and Titan and Atlas, but we don't have anything for the Saturn C stuff. Let's see how our insertion goes. All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. But yeah, God, that was an expensive thing. Yeah, so a little over 1900 meters per second losses, which is, man, 9424 meters per second expended. So there must be more losses than that. Let's look at surface and see what we get. 1924, 7400. So we're at 2024, which these do not sum up to. So they sum up to 1916. So 110 meters per second drag. Meh, not that bad. Yeah, so this basically cost 400 meters per second more than you'd kind of expect. Blowfish, actually the J2, so the J2 was crap at sea level, but it did work at sea level. And part of the reason why its vacuum performance was poor was because they gave it a nozzle that was still usable at sea level so they could test it. If you give it a proper nozzle extension, then you'll get severe flow separation. But, well, actually, I think it did have like minor flow separation, but it was still okay. But yeah, basically that's why its vacuum performance isn't better, is because it was given a nozzle that was still vaguely workable at sea level. And not optimal at sea level, but like usable at sea level. Yeah, I guess because they wanted to test it not in a vacuum chamber. I mean, it's sort of hard to test a 230,000 pound force engine in a vacuum chamber. Yeah, 300 seconds is about right for sea level, and it's the sort of stupid thing that Wikipedia would do, is list the sea level specific impulse. No, it's 200 seconds at sea level. Yeah, that sounded high. 300 sounds about right for the J2SL, actually. It doesn't do that badly for gas streamer. Like, you don't, I mean, if you look at the J2S with tap off, it's not that much better. Yeah, exactly. And they didn't make a nozzle extension for it to do. All right. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits here. So next time we'll go ahead and get this all the way to the moon. God, that was an anemic ascent. So you remember when I said it had a Saturn V launch profile? That's a Saturn V cost to orbit too. All right. See y'all later.